Welcome to your Ageless Musical Brain podcast. My name is Lucelena Blanco, Lucy, and this is the show where dance, music, and the arts are in sync with brain health. My very special guest today is an audio branding consultant who graduated with honors, earning a degree in psychology in Santiago de Chile and a master's degree in film scoring from Barcelona, Spain. He's written audio branding books on how to hook your consumer with music, a 6-step evidence-based guide, and is spreading the word about the power of music in different domains in his newsletter, Sound Awareness. My guest is also a violin and keyboard player, music teacher, film composer, blogger, and award-winning writer at Medium. He's very passionate about the different facets of music, which are deeply intertwined with his daily work. His name is Pavle Marinkovic. Welcome, Pavle, to the show.
Thank you for having me, Lucy.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for this time. So today we're going to learn about the connection between music and our sense of taste and the enigmatic power of sound on our psyche. Tell us the power music has in provoking emotions that can lead us to have certain preferences as consumers.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's important to understand that music elicits emotions in different ways. So think about sound in its simplest form, without the influence of lyrics, harmony, or other music elements. A sudden sound can scare us before we even know what's causing it. It activates our fight or flight response. So now add a layer to this. In this case, the emotional reaction happens when you react to a song because of an association between the song and your surroundings. Let's say you get together with your friends and you always sing certain songs. So, Lucy, what would these be in your case?
The drums.
In my case, it would be some folk songs I used to play with my band. So after doing this several times, you've created a link between music and an emotion. Let's say joy in this case. The bond becomes stronger with repetition. Now, when you listen to that song, even if there's no friendly reunion, you'll feel the same emotions. Maybe not at the same intensity level, but they're there. You've paired a song with a situation or a person and an emotion. And that's what brands try to do. Let's say a coffee shop usually plays jazz songs when you go there. You've gone there several times and always had a good time. Now, if you go there again, it reminds you of those emotions because of the jazz songs and other elements. Even if you're not with the same people visiting it, it's the power of association. Music, experience, and emotion binding together. It's all about pairing the right music with the right product or service. Before the 1970s, businesses weren't that aware how to craft their environment to evoke a specific emotional response, either to increase the likelihood of a purchase or boost the customer's experience. But then the marketing guru called Philip Kotler introduced the idea of atmospherics, where you could design the sensorial experience to affect the customer, sometimes, even more than the product itself. Kotler talked about manipulating the smell, the visuals, and the sound element to make us more relaxed, excited, nostalgic, or evoke any other emotion. So once you experience a certain mood, you link that emotional response with what's in front of you. In this case, the product, making it seem more appealing, or the brand more relatable, or the shopping experience more enjoyable. For instance, Dunkin' Donuts used several senses to direct people's morning routine towards choosing their coffee. While people were on the bus, let's say going to work, they would play a catchy jingle. They would also release an aroma of coffee. And when they got off the bus, they would see an ad telling them where the closest Dunkin' Donut was. So they conditioned people to link Dunkin' Donuts with their morning coffee. an
Right.
association they didn't even have before.
Right.
So this example shows us the impact of strategic influence on our senses to change our preferences. So music transforms not only how we see the brand, but also how we feel about it on a deeper and more unconscious level.
Buying food online versus a brick and mortar. Which one's more effective, do you think?
Well, both platforms offer different aspects of the consumer experience. So online shopping provides convenience. It's efficient, it's quick, and you buy it from anywhere. But physical stores offer something that online platforms cannot replicate. It's the immersive, this multi-sensory experience.
Right.
So when you shop in a store, you activate all 5 senses, which can enhance the consumer's connection to the product or brand. In this scenario, music can influence the perception of time. Let's say it can make people think more time or less time has passed. It can enhance their moods and even affect their spending behavior. So I think the future of shopping likely involves a hybrid, ensuring the consumer receives both the convenience of online shopping and the rich and immersive experiences of physical stores.
And what about that chocolate factory that you were in Madrid?
Yeah, so there's a vegan chocolate factory in the center of Madrid, and I did an experiment there because people would go on tours and see how the chocolate was made. So before the tour would commence, I would ask them to participate in this test, and I would give them a piece of chocolate from one bowl and ask them to taste it while they were listening to either high-pitched music or low-pitched music.
Right.
Then I would ask them to rate this. Is it sweet? Is it bitter? How do you feel about it, this piece of chocolate you're tasting? And then I would do the same they would take another piece of chocolate from another bowl, and they would do the same. If they first listened to high-pitched music, now they would listen to low-pitched music, or the other way around. And the results were fascinating. People linked high-pitched music, which would be piano music in the high end of the keyboard, or chime bells, with the taste of sweetness. It made the chocolate taste sweeter.
Oh, high pitch equals sweeter.
High pitch equals sweet. And then you have low pitch equals bitter. This would be bass sounds or cello in the lower end. And then I would tell them, but it was the same chocolate in both instances. I just put them in 2 bowls, and they were baffled. They wouldn't think that was possible because they've never thought about sound this way, that it could influence their experience of taste. So this shows that the eating experience is much more than the smell and taste. It's about the visuals, it's about the texture and the sounds that accompany this experience.
Yeah, and they probably claimed, hey, it's different.
Yeah, they would say, no, but this is a different one. And I would say, no, the same one.
You started playing the violin in places where people were eating, snacks nearby, and you actually observed their reaction. Probably inspired, right? Sounds from farm to fork and back. How audio and music can enhance the food life cycle. We are still very new at this.
Yeah, we've never thought about linking food and music in this way, where they actually interact. It's not just that you have food while you're eating. It's what's music doing to your perception of taste. Is it also changing the pace at which you eat?
Yeah.
How can you use music to enhance plant growth, make the plants more robust, use less pesticides? How can you interact music in every stage of the cycle? And until now, nobody has ever compiled all these different studies on this. So I wanted to take that challenge and put them all in one book.
You're a pioneer at this idea. I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking and I'm playing music, my favorite music, that's actually gonna create the situation in which I'm gonna be more apt to eat more.
I mean, you can depending if it's a fast-paced music,
Yeah.
and if it's louder, it makes you focus more on the music than on the food. So maybe you are not aware that you are eating and you overeat because you are more focused on the music that you enjoy so much. This is what happens in bars a lot.
Yeah.
They put loud music,
Right.
and people just drink more because it's awkward to be looking at each other without saying anything, because if you say something, nobody's going to hear you because it's too loud. So what do you do? You just drink more.
How do marketers relate to healthcare?
Yeah, I mean, first, food marketers, what do? They try to highlight the features of their product. So they do that visually mainly, but they also use sound, like when you want to boost the crunchiness of chips in a commercial.
Right.
It makes the food more appealing, and it's very difficult not to want to have a Coke after you hear the can pop and hear its fizzing sound.
Right.
But these properties can also be used in healthcare. For instance, cancer patients with reduced taste sensitivity after chemotherapy might find food tastier by enhancing its sound. So if you boost the sound element of the food, let's say you give them headphones to amplify the crispiness while they eat, or as we saw with the experiment with chocolate, use high-pitched sounds to enhance the sweetness of the food they're eating, it can help them enjoy the food more. There's also another way you can use sounds, that is to choose healthier foods. For instance, those with less sugar. There was a coffee chain in Shanghai that introduced what they call a sonic sweetener. It was a device inserted in cups that emitted a pink light and a high-pitched sound that made the drinks taste sweeter without sugar. So you would tilt the coffee cup, and that would activate the sound and the light. This reduced the need for actual sweeteners, because the logic was, since it already tastes sweeter, you don't need any more sugar in it. So all this shows that if we can harness the power of sound, there's so much more we could do.
Yeah.
I think that when you learn how music interacts with these different elements in the food, like the bacteria, when you use ultrasounds to kill bacteria, and if you combine this with other elements as well, you can get to a rate of 99% of killing all these bacteria. You're able to use music more consciously, knowing which results to expect. And knowledge helps us not only understand the world, but mold it to our benefit.
There's still so much that we need to learn about sound and music, and also use in industries like healthcare.
Because we usually think about music as something that's entertaining, that's something that you can play an instrument, or you can listen to music or dance to it, but we don't see that there's so much more to music. And if you're just thinking in economical terms, it's cost effective, it's accessible, it doesn't have major secondary effects. I mean, there's so much benefits to just using this element that it's everywhere, and we just have to harness this power.
Yeah. So after reading the book, you start thinking differently about what you consume, And I'm wondering if there have been times when, I think something is so delicious, it just makes you think, right?
Yeah, maybe they could put a label, like instead of grass-fed, music.
Exactly, right? Influenced by sound. Oh, that'd be awesome, right?
That would be awesome, yes.
What about in film scoring, like when we go and watch a movie?
In film score music in Barcelona, they would always tell us, if people realize they're more focused on the music, you're not doing your job well. It has to be seamlessly integrated into the movie. It doesn't have to steer your attention away from the screen, from the visuals, because that's how it's more powerful. Horror movie, if you take away the music, it's not scary anymore. And sound has such an impact that it can change how we feel, the amount of time we feel it passed.
And I thank you so much, Pavle, for joining me on the show and creating awareness of how important sound is to the psyche.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn. I always write there. I link to my articles there as well. On Medium, I have a newsletter. Until now, it was just online. When you read
really?
It was just online. Yeah, it was just on Kindle or just online format. But now I got it physical.
Yeah,
so.
And you got to translate it, Pavle, in different languages. Thank you so much, Pavle. We'll be talking soon.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Bye-bye.